What if I told you that just 1 cup of warm water, yes, plain warm water, could start melting fat, ease nagging joint pain, and help you think sharper in under 10 minutes? You'd probably raise an eyebrow. But here's what you haven't been told. Your aging body reacts differently to temperature, hydration, and timing. And when you drink warm water the right way, it triggers a healing process most seniors have no idea they're missing out on. Let's break it down. If you're over 60, your body doesn't respond the same way it did in your 30s. Your circulation slows, your digestion weakens, and your metabolism, the engine that burns fat and clears toxins, starts to idle. That's why the simple act of drinking warm water in the morning can have an entirely different effect on your body than it does on someone half your age. See, when warm water hits your system first thing in the morning, something remarkable happens. Your blood vessels begin to expand, gently and naturally. That means better blood flow to your muscles, your joints, and most importantly, your brain. Cold water does the opposite. It tightens your vessels, slows digestion, and makes your body work harder to compensate. But warm water, it cooperates, it soothes, it supports the systems that age tends to slow down. But this isn't just about hydration. It's about triggering what doctors call a parasympathetic response. That's the part of your nervous system responsible for rest, healing, and digestion. And seniors who are always in a state of low-level stress, mentally or physically, rarely activate it. Warm water flips that switch. It tells your body, you're safe, you can heal now. And what happens when your body believes it's safe? It lets go. It releases waste. It lets go of bloat. It lets go of tension. And over time, yes, it lets go of stored fat. Because fat isn't just fuel, it's protection. Your body holds on to it when it feels under attack. So that cup of warm water isn't just comforting, it's a signal to your biology that the danger has passed. Let me tell you about Harold. He was 71 and he'd been struggling with constant fatigue, bloating after every meal, and a foggy head that made him feel like he was walking underwater. His doctor checked for thyroid problems, blood sugar issues, even early signs of dementia. Everything came back fine. But Harold didn't feel fine. He felt old. The turning point? A simple morning routine his nutritionist recommended. Before coffee, before food, 1 cup of warm water, sipped slowly, while seated, with nothing else in his system. That's it. Within a week, his bloating vanished. Within 2 weeks, he was sleeping better. And by week 3, he told me he'd dropped 4 pounds without changing his diet or exercise. I just feel lighter, he said, not just in my body, but in my mind. Here's why that works. As we age, our body's ability to detox slows down. The kidneys don't filter as efficiently, the liver gets sluggish, and the digestive system becomes more prone to gas, constipation, and inflammation. Warm water acts like a gentle jumpstart. It hydrates from the inside out, softens stools, supports bile flow, and helps eliminate waste that's been quietly sitting in the gut. Most seniors walk around dehydrated and don't even realize it. The thirst response fades with age, which means your body can be screaming for water, and you won't feel a thing. And when that happens, everything suffers. Your blood thickens, your brain slows, your joints ache, your digestion backs up, and your body starts to feel older than it really is. But warm water changes the game. It doesn't shock the system, it supports it, it hydrates faster, absorbs better, and creates a gentle internal environment where healing becomes possible again. It's not about replacing medication, it's not about magical cures. It's about giving your aging body what it actually needs to do its job. And that's why warm water, when used the right way, is far more than just a beverage. It's a healing tool, a morning reset, a daily ritual that tells your body, let's clear out the junk, turn on the engine, and start fresh. So the question becomes, what's the best time to drink it? How warm should it be? And what can you add to that water to make its healing power even stronger? That's what I'm going to show you next. Every morning, your metabolism stands at a crossroads. One path leads to fat burning, energy, and focus. The other, sluggish digestion, weight gain, and the dreaded afternoon crash. For seniors, The choice is even more critical, because as we age, our metabolic rate naturally slows. But here's the good news. Warm water gives your metabolism the jump start it's been waiting for. See, your body is like a car that's been parked overnight, cold and stiff. You wouldn't slam the gas without warming up the engine, right? Same goes for your digestion. Warm water acts like an internal ignition key. It gently wakes up your stomach, liver, pancreas, and intestines, all the systems responsible for breaking down food and converting it into usable energy. Drinking warm water on an empty stomach first thing in the morning increases something called thermogenesis. That's just a fancy word for heat production, and your body burns calories to produce heat. It's a natural boost to your metabolism that doesn't require caffeine, supplements, or strenuous workouts. Just water. Warmed. Now, let's talk belly fat. One of the reasons seniors hold on to stubborn midsection weight is poor hydration. When your body senses dehydration, it slows metabolism to conserve energy. It also holds on to every calorie, especially around the gut. Warm water reverses that. It hydrates quickly, thins the blood, improves circulation, and signals your metabolism to go back to burning instead of storing. I had a patient named Carol. She was 67, frustrated with weight gain that seemed to come out of nowhere after retirement. She was eating clean, walking daily, and still couldn't lose a pound. I asked her one question. What's the first thing you drink in the morning? Her answer? Coffee with cream, no water, nothing hydrating until mid-morning. I suggested one small change. Drink warm water as soon as she woke up, before anything else. 2 weeks later, she emailed me. I'm down 3 pounds, and I feel less puffy all over. Here's the takeaway. Your metabolism isn't broken. It's just waiting for the right signal. And for many seniors, that signal isn't another diet. It's a warm cup of water, taken first thing in the morning. Let's talk about what's really weighing you down, because it's not always fat. It's toxic buildup, sluggish digestion, a gut that hasn't had a reset in years. And if you've been feeling bloated, constipated, gassy, or just off, warm water might be your simplest solution. You see, your gut isn't just where food goes. It's where your immune system lives, where your body decides what to absorb and what to eliminate. And in seniors, this system gets slower, stickier, and more inflamed with age. That's why digestion feels heavier. Bloating shows up out of nowhere, and going to the bathroom becomes unpredictable. Warm water changes that fast. When it flows through your digestive tract, it does something cold water simply can't. It softens hardened waste. It relaxes your intestinal muscles. It encourages peristalsis, that wave-like motion that moves things along, and it helps your body release what it's been holding on to. I had a client, George, who was 72 and hadn't had a regular bowel movement in over a week. Laxatives made him crampy. Fiber bloated him. But warm water? That worked. After just 3 mornings of sipping it slowly on an empty stomach, his system started to shift. The pressure in his gut eased, the bloating reduced, and for the first time in months he felt relief. But there's more. Your gut lining, the barrier that keeps harmful bacteria out and nutrients in, can get damaged by age, medications, processed food, and even stress. Warm water helps repair it. It increases blood flow to the digestive organs. It hydrates the tissues. And over time, it can reduce the inflammation that leads to leaky gut, IBS, and nutrient malabsorption. It's like cleaning out an old pipe. Not by force, but with gentle, consistent flow. That's what warm water does for your insides. It cleans without stripping, heals without shocking, and helps your body remember how to work the way it used to. So, if your gut has been talking to you through gas, bloating, constipation, or fatigue, this might be the message it's been waiting for. And the fix might be simpler than you think. If your hands and feet are always cold, if your knees feel stiff before you've even started walking, or if your legs ache for no clear reason, it could all trace back to one hidden issue: poor circulation. And what you drink in the morning could be making it worse, or making it better. Warm water, especially on an empty stomach, improves circulation in a way most seniors desperately need. Here's why. As we age, blood flow naturally slows, arteries stiffen, blood thickens, and muscles and joints stop getting the oxygen and nutrients they need. That's when stiffness sets in. That's when the pain shows up, not from injury, but from a lack of flow. When you drink warm water, your blood vessels dilate. Your core temperature rises gently. Blood moves more easily to your hands, feet, and joints. That means less inflammation, less stiffness, and more flexibility without the soreness that used to follow. Now let's talk about pain. Most joint pain in older adults isn't from trauma. It's from inflammation, caused by poor circulation, dehydration, and the slow buildup of acidic waste in the tissues. Warm water helps your kidneys flush that waste more efficiently. It reduces the load on your liver, and it sends a wave of warmth and hydration straight to your joints. I'll never forget Margaret. She was 76 and couldn't garden anymore because her knees would lock up like rusted hinges, she said. Her rheumatologist had her on medications, but her daughter, a nurse, added one small tweak: 10 ounces of warm water first thing in the morning, every morning. Within a month, Margaret called to say she could walk her backyard again without needing to sit down every 5 minutes. That's not magic. That's biology. The warmth doesn't just soothe. It activates. It loosens. It circulates. It creates an environment in your body where inflammation can't easily thrive. And the more consistent you are, the better your joints respond. So if your knees feel like sandpaper, if your fingers ache after a walk, or if you're just tired of feeling tight and heavy, give your body the warmth it's been missing. Let's talk about something that scares seniors more than wrinkles or weight gain: losing their clarity. That moment you forget where you parked, struggle to recall a name, or walk into a room and forget why. It's called brain fog, and it's not just getting older. It's often a sign of poor circulation, dehydration, and inflammation in the brain. And guess what helps all three? Warm water. When you drink warm water in the morning, your brain gets a direct benefit. Blood flow improves, especially to the tiny vessels responsible for memory, focus, and language. Unlike cold water, which can briefly slow your digestive system and cause constriction, warm water opens things up. It encourages oxygen-rich blood to reach your head, and that alone can help clear the fog. But there's more. Dehydration is one of the top overlooked causes of cognitive decline in seniors, and many older adults go half the day without proper hydration. When the brain lacks water, it shrinks slightly. That affects mood, memory, and alertness. Even mild dehydration can reduce mental performance by up to 25%. But most people don't feel thirsty until they're already running low. Warm water is easier to drink in the morning, especially when cold water feels unappealing. It absorbs more quickly, replenishes faster, and helps rehydrate the brain before you even start your day. And if you've ever felt groggy after waking up, like you can't get your thoughts to line up, that's because your brain hasn't fully flushed out metabolic waste. During sleep, your brain goes through a nightly detox. But if you're dehydrated, that process stalls. Warm water helps restart it. I had a patient, Joseph, who was 70 and worried he was slipping into early dementia. After testing, it wasn't dementia at all. It was dehydration and poor blood flow. We started with warm water each morning. That's it. Within 2 weeks, he reported sharper memory, better sleep, and a confidence he hadn't felt in months. So if your mind's been feeling a step behind, if names escape you or your thoughts feel foggy, don't panic. Start with water. Warm, simple, healing. Your brain may just need a little help turning the lights back on. So, we've seen what warm water can do, how it wakes up your metabolism, helps your gut detox, improves blood flow, eases joint pain, and lifts that frustrating mental fog. But here's the part nobody talks about, and what you do next may be even more important, because warm water is just the beginning. It opens the door, but what happens after you walk through it is where the transformation really starts. The foods you eat within the next 60 minutes, the way you move your body, the timing of your next drink or meal, all of it either builds on that momentum or quietly shuts it down. And the most surprising part? There's one simple add-in, a natural ingredient sitting in most senior kitchens right now that can double the benefits of warm water when used correctly. It helps balance blood sugar, boost immunity, reduce belly bloating, and even calm anxious thoughts. But most people either skip it or use it at the wrong time. Want a clue? It's not a pill, it's not a powder. It's something your grandmother probably used every morning, but never told you why. If you think warm water by itself can be powerful, wait until you see what happens when this healing booster is added. It turns that morning sip into a daily ritual for sharper thinking, lighter joints, better digestion, and a body that feels years younger. Because here's the truth. Your body isn't broken. It's just been waiting for the right signal, waiting for the right support, waiting for you to give it what it needs to work the way it once did. And warm water? That's the first step, the ignition. But what you combine it with next, that's where the real magic begins. So if you're ready to take this one simple habit and level it up, if you're ready to see what your body's truly capable of, then keep watching, because in the next video, you'll discover exactly what to add to your warm water, when to drink it, and how it unlocks healing you can actually feel. And it all starts tomorrow morning.